I've been feeling a little bit like a crazy person lately, potting things up, planting things in the ground, and transplanting other things that maybe aren't working or have to change one way or another. Do you ever get to that point where it's a little like overwhelming, all the tasks you have to do? Before we get into all of that though, I want to show you the most gorgeous sunrise that I woke up to. It was this morning. I was inside the house, my blinds were down. Suddenly, I noticed they were glowing orange. So I rushed outside to see what was going on, and the sky was just magnificent. So I got to enjoy that today, and then the weather has been quite nice, and here I am putting it to good use. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and I am in southeastern North Carolina. My secret garden is starting to look really good, so I have some potting up that I want to get done today. I have this palm tree. This palm tree right here is a Majesty palm, and it just says it wants bright light. So as long as I keep it above 50 degrees, which of course I will be for the summer, this baby can live outside for me. So we're gonna pot that up over here, and I have some flowers that I think I'd like to add as drapers to come out of the pot with it, and a couple other things to possibly drape out of pots nearby. So let me show you some of the goodies that I have and we'll get into it. Alrighty, so I have 3 potential pots that I can add things to. One of them is this pot right here. Not very much going on in this pot. This is that Dracena or Draciana spike, whatever it's called. So that came out of a different arrangement that I had gotten on clearance last year. So whatever was with it didn't make it, I guess. I'm not even sure if this white mandevilla was part of it before or not. So we have some white mandevilla here. It's okay, but I could use an additional pop of something coming out of the side here. I have this hibiscus little braided tree, which I love, that is blooming in red, but I could potentially have something coming out of this pot, maybe for a little bit more fun. And then of course, the palm tree pot that we're going to be working on for sure filling. This is what the pot looks like that the palm tree is going to go into. So depending on how much space I have around the palm, this would be a third one that I can add some things to for fun. So let me show you the fun things now. Adding little pops of color or bits of whimsy is like the most fun thing. So I know, why don't you laugh, because I say, oh, I'm not really gonna be putting petunias in my garden anymore. And Calabrachia and petunias, same difference to me. But I found these guys on clearance. I figured I couldn't pass them up. They are beautiful drapers. I want them to live. I hope that they live. And also ideally, all of these pots are going to have irrigation to them. Right now, the only one that does is the spiky one, but I have 2 of these clearance plants that I could add in. And I also got this one. So the deal is the striped colors on both of these flowers could be super fun as long as they are put into the right spot. So I have both of these striped babies to include. And in one of my videos in the recent past, I shown you this pot that someone gave my son. They said, oh, we're just like getting rid of this pot. Does your mom want it? And I said, yes, mom wants it for sure. And the main thing here is the elephant ears. I don't know if they're the black magic, but they could be. They're super cool though. Look at the green veining in there. I love them. So I had dug some of these out already and put them into a pot in the front of the secret garden. But I thought I could also do the same thing here and take a couple of these out and put them into one of these pots. So I'm going to start with my Majesty palm and then see what I can fit after that. Super easy to get out of the pot, no resistance at all. All right, so this guy is going to look gorgeous. I did fill the bottom of the pot with an upside down plastic pot just to take up a little bit more space. It looks like it's going to work out perfect. So if I have this, I am thinking of the elephant ears because of the tropical vibe for each one. I brought my gloves out for once, so I figure maybe I should actually wear them. I don't think I need all these elephant ears. Unfortunately, they're attached to each other. So let me just break this one apart. All right. So if I have this guy and this guy somewhere over here, I expect the elephant ear to get quite big, so I actually don't think I really want to plant anything else on the other side here. So let's go ahead and fill in with potting soil and water this baby in. I was going to leave it as just these two things with tropical vibe, but again, this baby is going to get tall, maybe with some draping over. These guys are going to get big and stick out. This is the only thing that's really going to kind of grow leaning over the side of the flower pot. So I feel like we could add a pop of color over here. This is where we stand on this pot for now. I know it's not like looking so glorious over here because I have to fix up the area still, but we do have the one set of the purple petunias coming out of the side. Everything at least is in its pot. So now let's take a look at another pot and then see what we want to do from there. When I take a look at this spike planter, I see this coral canna lily that's growing up right beside it. And so I was thinking, okay, I don't know what colors to put inside this pot because of that canna lily. However, I'm thinking we just need to move a few things here because my cutie pie little, it's not even moving in the wind flamingo is also that coral color. So I wanted that to be near the coral canna lilies. Maybe I just need to move the pot a smidge. Oh, wait, I see why I didn't, because it's attached to the irrigation right there. All right, let me think for one moment here. Okay, here's what I am going to do. I came up with a brilliant idea. I'm going to take this turquoise pot with the spike in it, and I am going to put it where I just planted up the palm in a similarly colored pot. Just swap them both. Then the palm can come over here and be attached to the irrigation, and I have no color problems at all with the coral, flamingo, and canna lily. And I have the added bonus of having the purple petunias in that pot, and this is my new bougainvillea that I got for Mother's Day, and I have one of these on each side of the pool. You could just see a couple of blooms on it so far right now. But I'll have this guy blooming in purple, and then purple petunias right there. And then, now you'll see what I was thinking of with the colors, putting the red and white striped petunias into this pot. I like that better than having the red stripes right here, right next to the coral stuff. It just felt a little busy suddenly with the stripes and the garden decor. So let's make a move. Okay, first of all, we lift with our legs, not with our back. I found the tag inside the pot here, and it turns out it is the spike, Dracaena, whatever, and Mandevilla. That was what the clearance pot was from last year. So yep, both of these babies did kind of grow together. So now I'm going to pop my red and white petunias in here. This way it'll break up my reds. I have a little red there and a little more red over here. Beautiful, beautiful. So my irrigation line runs right here, and this is what I have to put inside my pot. So we just have, that's the only thing that's dictating our placement right now. Oh, you know what I want to do, all right. I'm going to take the other purple one and put it on this side. And this way we got, like I said, all the purple here leading right to the purple bougainvillea behind me. Before we leave this area and move on to our next little project, I'm actually going to take some bags of mulch and fill in this area where I never had mulched before, or not this year anyway. May as well clean it up, cover the irrigation line I have here, and then we can move on. The next little bit of potting up that I have to do is of this coleus. I had told you before I bought a couple of trays of coleus like this a while back. One of them I took all apart. I put some coleus in the ground. I made a window box for my shade garden. But I am not quite ready to get into the constructs of having a coleus wall. However, I realize that I need to get these things out of like the small plug shaped containers that they're in so they can start to thrive. And then this way, when the time permits and I can build my coleus wall, I could go ahead and transplant them. So obviously the ones I bought are looking awesome, like they're big and beautiful, but they're going to get even more so. And then of course the ones that I grew from seed look, well, way different. However, I am starting to notice some good color formation coming in some of these, so maybe some of them stand a chance of doing well. So I have 4 of these window box, I guess they're liners, window box liners. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take these babies out of their plug trays and pot them up however I can in these window boxes. Ideally, I'm going to mix colors, even though I'm not really doing anything with this liner at the moment. But wherever it sits, even temporarily for these guys to grow, I want it to look colorful. So of course, when you see things in plugs just like this, understand of course that their roots are being confined to those areas, which means also that you're going to have to water your plants more frequently if they're in a smaller, tighter space. Now that I'm going to be opening them up to a larger space here, I will technically have to water less frequently, but we'll kind of see what happens. So I can get 5 of these very nicely into one window box liner. I had done the first one, all just 5 of the main plugs that I had bought. But on this one, I decided I'm gonna do something a little different and add in some of my little seedlings in the middle here. It's gonna be easiest for me to empty out the entire pot, and this way I could try to separate a little more easily. These roots are going to be more delicate. So I just want to make sure I get plenty of roots with the plant. I'm not sure if this one's going to be like this one or not. So it'll be real interesting to have them side by side in this planter. And this one, same deal, except I feel like I see a little bit more pink on it. So it may end up being one of my most favorite ones like this, which one can hope. When you get those packets of seeds that are just a mix, it's really hard to know what you're going to end up with. They could be all just plain green, you know? This one in my seeds has one that's almost a really pale pink. It's the only one of its kind, so I don't know what's up with that. So I got all 4 boxes planted up, and I feel so much better getting that coleus out from their tiny little pots. I know you're all familiar with my rock garden, so we're just gonna stroll on by here right now, looking at some of the gorgeous babies, and I just want to show you something else that I did today, not on camera though. See how I have all of this cascading rock sedum? I mean, so much. So I decided to dig a bit out so I can put that pot of begonias here to add a little color right there. I took out basically a shovel full of the sedum, and I put it over into this shadier spot here. It looks, of course, totally different right now, and it just got stuck in the ground, so it's got a take yet. But I also added 2 of the coleus that were left in my last tray, put them in the ground as well. So I figured they could get big over here. This is a fairly shady area, and of course they get to be next to those gorgeous Hudson Bay hostas, so they're gonna love it here. Since my orange daylilies are in full bloom right now, we're gonna end right here next to them and also next to my ham and eggs lantana. Earlier today, I spotted a swallowtail butterfly on this exact lantana, and oh my gosh, it was such a beautiful sight because those butterflies have blue in their wings. Well, the wing shape is gorgeous. They look majestic and everything, but having that blue color on there as well, man. So I started the day with a gorgeous sunrise. Then I had the swallowtail butterfly over here on the lantana, and now I got all my coleus potted up. Things are continuing to rock and roll, even though sometimes days can feel very overwhelming, but we're getting it done. Little by little, a little becomes a lot, right? That's like our favorite gardening quote to just keep in mind all the time. If we're beginning to feel overwhelmed, do what you can. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and definitely follow me on social media for real-time updates and gorgeous photos and all of that fun kind of stuff. Until next time, you guys, happy planting.